Jim here. I hope everyone's getting some practicing in as well as playing. Staying consistent really can help with the motivation train. All right, in this lesson I want to go over before we start playing because I don't want a new learner to dive into this and get really confused and just visually learn a quick pattern or so. One of the things I want to mention, the goal for this lesson is to get a bit more finger independence, in particular for now, the right hand. We're going to be focusing on 4-note chords. I'm going to be breaking them down. I'm going to give some tips on why you might be playing the way you are in regards to tension and all that stuff. I'm also going to be focusing on the 5th finger and the 4th finger, moving around the keyboard, adding some musical touches to it with patterns and certain patterns that you might come about with songs or building your own accompaniment or rhythm patterns. But reach out if any of you have any questions or thoughts. Oh, before we do start playing, with the benefit of this lesson too is you're going to open up your hand a bit and you're going to navigate the keyboard a bit more, and we're going to be focusing, the outer reach will be probably a 6th. So I'm already using some language here, so if that's kind of like whoosh, then you're going to want to check out some of my other videos, but leave a comment, all right? That's how I get to know people and help everyone. All right, let's get playing. All right, Pep, I think we're ready. I had to show off my buddy. We're going to go ahead and get some playing in. All right, we're in E minor, and that's actually an interesting scale to play. We'll talk about that later. E minor, we'll be in 4/4 time. Let's talk about the chords we're using. The first chord, well, the first thing I want to do is sit correctly, is the E minor 7 chord, used in thousands of songs and pieces. What we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom note here and just chuck it on top. Okay, so now we have, the notes are G, B, D, F. And that is our secret formula. We're going to be using the 1 finger in the right hand, 2, 4, and then 5 on the E, okay? So you can practice that. Some common things that learners will do when they're playing, they might start pointing, and that means you're not using arm weight, and it might be a little advanced for you right now. So you're going to want to take your time and maybe just play the notes separately, which we'll get into with our linear patterns. I'm going to go ahead now and show the next chord, which is C major 7. But I'm going to take the bottom note and chuck that on top. So we have E, G, B, C. Did you notice the same fingering? So our first chord with this inversion, and now the C. Okay. A minor 7. We're going to use this A. Oh, by the way, this is my middle C. A, C, E, and G. Same idea, 1, 2, 4, 5. I did that on purpose just so we can get some activity in here, and we can't cheat. We have to make sure we use these digits. The last chord, that's right, there's 4 chords. You with me? So now we have D, F sharp, A, B. This can be called a D6 chord. Here's D, go up, that B represents the 6th degree. We could get into theory, but that's a whole other lesson video and all that stuff. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and play them broken, nice and slow, and I'm going to play them going up, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then you're going to go to the next one. I'm going to try it in 8th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Kind of mystical here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Discipline yourself, slow it down. Get the blood going through your fingers. 3, 4, and thinking arm weight. 2, and improvising. And 4, and D. And 2, 3, 4, and. Always fun to teach when you're exhausted. It makes my brain dig in deep. All right, so that's kind of like a warm-up, pattern 1 we'll call it. Pattern 2, same thing, but it's really important. Now we're going to go ascending, so we're going to start up here. What happens with some learners, and if our hand's a bit weak, those notes will sound softer, and sometimes we'll cave in our fingers a little bit. So make sure you can, we don't want to cave in. We want to try to keep that ball, if you will, and just support your sound with your body. 1, 2, 3, 4, C. I'm not using the pedal, I'm staying honest, listening to my sound. Three, four, and add in color if you want, dynamics. 3 and play staccato if you like. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. If you're able to play with a really strong sense of time, that's important because that's a huge part of music, right? To get it to flow well. All right, before we get to pattern 3 and 4, don't forget about the free PDF if you like. All right, pattern 3 and 4 are very similar. It's all about the 6, focusing on the outer notes of the chord, and we're playing top to bottom. Those are 8th notes. 1, 2. And repeat it. All right, quick tip here. If you're having a hard time, the answer teachers will say is slow it down. Yes, most of you know that, but if you don't, slow it down, be patient. But there's one other tip. Think about when you're slowing it down where your hand's going to. A little analytical work goes a long way. So in this case, the hand is descending for the most part, except for the last bar. So you want to get used to that. Slowing it down, giving your brain to digest, getting to know the keys is where it's at. Pattern 4, I love pattern 4 because now the pinky's on the upbeat and I want to make sure that it behaves and it doesn't cave in, and also we don't want a weaker sound. So I almost give it a little accent, almost. 2. Pattern 5, before we go to pattern 5, I really want to get to know my viewers. That's more important to me than the amount of subscribers I have. So if you like, if you could put close and crew in the comments, because we're probably a little more halfway through the video, and I just want to get to know the learners and the students who are sticking through. If you like, you can put close and crew, or I'm still here listening. Pattern 5 is really beautiful. It's called the up and middle, because it goes up, and then we play the middle part of that chord inversion. I think it's beautiful, and there you go, and both hands, and 2, 3. Pattern 6, we do the opposite now. It is the down and middle. To the C. Whoop. It's all right. Repeat it and sorry. If you didn't catch why I said sorry, I kind of just doubled a note and didn't play exactly what I intended. Mistakes happen. That's all right. It's part of the art. Pattern 7 and 8 are very similar. I call it the out and end. This is a little trickier. We're the out part of the note, and then we have this part. So I'm going to do a basic rhythm now. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Like this. 1. I'll slow down a little at 3 and 4. Out. I'm glad I'm doing this before I finish everything because my PDF's incorrect, so I got to fix that. But I think I can pull it off without looking at my mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, just out and in. 3 and 4 and. Repeats. And then pattern 8 is in and out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, to the C. We're going to talk about this one. All right, so this one's a little trickier because a lot of times when we play, we're thinking about the whole shape of the chord, and now we're going from in the middle of the chord, which is really beneficial. If you continue this kind of playing, you're going to open up a lot of doors this way. So we're here. You might want to just practice that. And then we're going to the C, and you want to think about that shape. And if you haven't played many 4-note chords yet, so we're including the 7th in there, that will be a bit of a challenge. So practice it and try to avoid splatting. And if you're still here, I have a surprise. Let's learn this pattern. And this will be, let's see, I'll demonstrate it kind of slow. Let's see. I'll slow down. So that rhythm kind of pops a little bit. We have the 1, so it's 1 E and So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Oh. Makes sense. I will add that into the next video, but you feel free to start practicing that. Thank you so much. I'm really honored to get to know so many new learners. I see you more as a learner, student, than a subscriber. All right, so take care. Happy practicing. And if you want to know about more in regards to steps adults should take, in regards to learning the piano, this video here is a benefit. You got to check it out, especially the comments, because there's some really good advice from other wonderful learners. All right, take care. Bye-bye.